Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'll be talking about one of my articles titled Faith and Horror.
Jing jing.
So, ding, ding. So this may seem like a very strange topic to talk about, but I think there's something, there's a bit of a spiritual lesson you can learn from horror movies or horror stories in general as well. So Greg, I don't know about you, but do you like horror movies? Or?
No, I think I absolutely hate horror movies.
But I think for me, I find myself drawn to horror stories when I don't feel like in control of my life, or like when things seem to be going wrong in a sense. And I think that speaks to something about horror stories in general, about the fear of the unknown, right? Like something out to get you, supernatural horror especially,
Yes.
and the horror within ourselves as well, and like I think about how many monsters can turn you into them, right? Like Dracula or werewolf or zombies.
Right.
I mean, isn't that a very good metaphor for like sin and like its corrupting influence on us? Whether like it was forced upon us or like it was always there and then like these things just brought it out. I am not entirely sure which one is worse, right? So horror sort of like disturbs us. It causes us to question like how much of an effect like sin has on our life. And maybe I think some of the best horror stories also show the steps we can take to combat this influence. So think about like who is Dracula's nemesis, right? Dr. Abraham Van Helsing, a man of very deep faith, someone who is able to use his knowledge and his faith to like reassure the others around him to be able to overcome that evil. So I think horror stories speak to that fear in us of like not being able to overcome this darkness. But think about how many times Jesus uses like the metaphor of like the sea, or when he calls Peter out into the water, like for the Jews, it was like they weren't generally like very seafaring types like the Greeks or whatever, right? Like I mean, for them, like the sea was associated with like Leviathan or like sea monsters that were going to eat them. But for Jesus to really call them out onto the water is to really face their fears, and I think the call is to sort of go beyond that and to see the face of Jesus behind like our fears. Thank you very much, and God bless.